Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? We got the beef in the kettle, baby.
Who the fuck cooks beef in kettles?
I do.
Okay, you boiling beef bastard.
I'm not boiling it. There's no water in there. I just like a deep kettle. I like a lot of beef. You don't buy the 20-pound log of hamburger at the store, bring it home and cook it all up, and then freeze it in individual baggies so you don't got to cook the rest of the week?
Well, first I freeze it, then I use it to sodomize myself, then I unthaw it within myself.
That's
then
a good way to defrost.
Then I cook it up, and then I pre-portion it, and then I freeze it, and then I eat it.
Very nice.
I mean, that's the way you got to do it. Hey, I learned it from my
You're
grandmama.
not supposed to freeze your beef twice, though. Maybe that's why you get sick all the time.
That's how you can freeze it after it's cooked. That's not being froze twice. Then that's being froze a second time, or you know what I mean. It's different once you're. Yeah.
You've changed the chemical composition.
There you go. Wow, what a
little bit of science on that ass. Yeah.
Yeah. Paystee and I, the science guy.
There you go.
Dropping some knowledge on your bitch ass. So why is this meme of Bill Nye bitching about global warming going around, but nobody gives credit to Last Week Tonight with John Oliver?
That's where I saw it. That's where it
aired. And then now it's all over, but not a single thing mentions or has John Oliver Last Week Tonight.
No, for a long time there I was watching a lot of Joe Rogan on Hulu, but then I found John Oliver and I watched the wrestling thing, and then I watched the Saudi Arabia thing, and now when I don't know what I'm going to watch, I just throw on John Oliver and zone the fuck out.
One of the best ones is FIFA. It's an older one, but watch it. The soccer organization, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, one of the best ones. Watch FIFA when you get the chance.
Oh, nice.
Definitely.
I've been keeping it more to the sciencey and the political ones, but that's just where I'm at right now. I'm having a real fun sitting back with my bowl of popcorn and watching these politics go down lately. More so than I ever have been in my life.
Oh, I've been doing it less so in my life just because of how horrible it is. One thing I've been doing a lot more of, though, is I've been ordering a lot more custom t-shirts from a few different places. Could you guess where?
Could one be Qualities, my friend?
I bet it could.
Qualities t-shirt company, locally sourced in Wilmer, Minnesota. Of course you order from them. They're right next door. Man, get your custom tees with your sublimation, heat transfer, vinyl, and decals. They got special gift t-shirts for that special someone, you know. Some sports team shirts, wedding and concert merch, and t-shirts for any occasion. You want a shirt with a curvy chick body on it so you can do your grilling out, but you don't want to wear an apron because men don't wear aprons? He'll do that for you.
You know what? This is 2019. Men can wear whatever they want.
Yes, they can. And so can women. Unless you're in Saudi Arabia. Now, who's not in Saudi Arabia is Monster Wear Clothing. Bringing you all your small runner bulk orders on decal stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, glassware, jerseys, and many other types and styles of fabrics, along with custom graphics and logo design services offered. Monster Wear Clothing is your one-stop shop for all your self-branded needs. Get your brand out there. Put it on your car. Put it on your face with a custom hand-painted hockey mask. Go to a business meeting with that shit on. I'm sure they're going to take you seriously.
And you know where Saudi Arabia is at, though, Paystee?
Where is that?
It's in our galaxy.
Yes, it is.
And the other thing that's in our galaxy is the Outback Ranch in Houston, Minnesota, where the Galactic Get Down is throwing a party for the entire galaxy. My gosh, when you get there, you can celebrate the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. Act like you're at Apollo 11, like you were there. It's you, and it's Buzz Aldrin, and you guys are just hanging out, and you're smoking a doob on the moon, man, eating the cheese. This is a 3-day outer space themed music and camping festival. If you didn't know by now, if you have never listened to our show or skipped the beginning, as I mentioned, it's at Houston, Minnesota, and it is at the beautiful enigmatic, and outlandish Outback Ranch.
Breathtaking.
They're going to have 2 stages, Paystee. So, you know what that means?
No, they had 3 stages this year, Fat Mack.
Wow! 3 stages. They added a stage just for us, folks. They added a
stage, yes.
So there's definitely going to be no overlapping music at all, and there's something for everyone. And don't forget that it is family friendly, and there are plenty of activities on site, folks. Hit up the Galactic Get Down if you want to see artists such as Granola, High Rise, Whiskey for the Lady, Karate Chop, Spare Change Trio, Porky's Groove Machine, Space Monkey Mafia, Reed Grimm, Smoking Joe, That One Guy, and hosted by your funky friends, Dead Larry.
Who are currently right now in Iowa performing for their 15-year anniversary show, folks.
15 years!
Fuck yeah.
Also put on by Vicarious Vision and Seahorse Productions.
And Seahorse Productions will be in the house here at the Flowbane Saloon next Tuesday for the first episode of the 2nd season of Get Local Minnesota. You want to find out more about this festival than we tell you on a weekly basis? This is where you're going to get that information.
Seahorse in the house!
Hell yeah. Looking forward to that one. But I'm looking forward to this episode. We got a lot to go through this week.
We have some long, beat-up Dusty Rhodes to travel this week, Paystee.
That is right. In This Week in Pro Wrestling History.
Yes, Paystee, on June 11th, back in 2015, not too long ago.
No.
Not horribly historic, but it was
kind of feels like it was further back than that.
I thought it was.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was. On that date, June 11th, Dusty Rhodes, my friends, passed away. Yes, the son of a plumber was a mainstay main eventer in almost every territory, and this is back when territories were the way of life. While also being a booker behind the scenes, he went on to be a top guy in both the NWA WCW production and the WWF, even turning a polka dot rib into a WrestleMania caliber performance. After having
he had to teach his boys how to do it before they had to fucking go through it.
For real. And he did. And I think it helped them come out better in the long run.
Yeah.
Goldust would have never been able to own that Goldust gimmick if Dusty Rhodes hadn't owned that polka dot gimmick beforehand.
Right.
After having spent time in ECW and TNA, the American Dream returned to WWE and became the head trainer in the developmental system NXT, helping future top WWE stars such as Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch hone their skills. He is memorialized not only as a WWE Hall of Famer and bronze statue, but in the annual Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament.
And that's honestly where you'll find some of the best tag team wrestling you'll see in WWE in any given year.
Yeah, truly. So rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes, and I'm
sure he's resting proud now.
I think he would be very super proud of his sons and what they've done with their careers, their lives, their families,
and the wrestling world.
For sure. But going on from one Hall of Famer who will never be forgotten to another Hall of Famer that will never be forgotten, Paystee, it's time for the Savage Sentinel.
That's right, folks. And first up on the docket, move over, Dwayne. John Cena will be replacing The Rock and joining the Fast and the Furious family in the franchise's next sequel.
Apparently, a lot of F's in there.
I know.
Woo!
Yeah, no. Apparently, a lot of the Fast and the Furious crew was pretty upset when The Rock decided to do the Hobbs and Shaw movie because they wanted to get on board for the next Fast and the Furious movie, and everybody makes some money. And so now, I guess, in order to spite them, probably on Vin Diesel's behalf, John Cena's going to be showing up. He's going to be playing a badass, and that's all we know about it so far. But I mean, if you're in Fast and the Furious, either you're a badass or a bad guy, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. I watched the first one.
I think I watched
Actually,
the first
I watched
four.
the first three. And the fact that the third one, I think I've said it on this show before.
Yeah, you said Tokyo Drift was your favorite.
The third one is my favorite. And
no,
it's
Tokyo Drift was
favorite.
actually the second one.
Was it? Okay, so that's the last one I watched.
I think it was...
No, that had to be the third one.
I'm wrong.
That had to be the third
Fast
one.
and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious,
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift. Whatever the fourth one was the last one I watched. They like dragged a safe down a freeway with a bunch of cars.
Like I don't watch them, but I watch
There's no
EWW
cars
on
anymore.
YouTube. Everything Wrong With, so I kind of get an idea what's going on. And apparently, like some of the later ones, they've got like fucking tanks and shit like that involved. And it's like that's way far from where it started at.
Look at Hobbs and Shaw. They were fighting a fucking cyber terrorist who was part fucking android.
I have no idea what Hobbs and Shaw is about. I thought that it was a remake of fucking Calvin and Hobbes, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, there's no tiger. But not only that, but Paystee, this probably isn't wrestling related because I don't know of any wrestlers that are on it. But apparently the Fast and the Furious animated series has been greenlit now as well.
Oh God!
So look forward to that coming up.
I miss the cars. I guess is where I'm at with that series.
Now they got tanks. Tanks for nothing, motherfuckers.
And now they got John Cena.
And now they got John Cena.
I was really hoping that we would maybe eventually see John Cena and The Rock in the same movie, but after this move, it probably won't happen now, ever.
No, you're going to see those two in the same room.
Unless this is The Rock and John Cena like trying to work the fans like this is wrestling or something.
Yeah, the odds of seeing them two in the same movie are the odds of lightning striking twice. And then, Paystee...
People said that about Schwarzenegger and Stallone, too. Untouchables had two
Then you'd have to
movies,
hear then you'd have to hear the thunder.
That's right. June 10th, folks, Jushin Thunder Liger officially announced the return of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Super J Cup, the first Super J Cup in 3 years.
Wow.
He also confirmed that for the first time ever, the tournament will take place outside of Japan, with dates officially revealed for San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma!
I love tacos, Ma. In 1994, Jushin was inspired to propose the Super J Cup, a single elimination tournament for junior heavyweight wrestlers from promotions around the world. The event was an immense success, and from then on, it has served as an irregular Olympic-style event, a festival for the world's very best junior heavyweight wrestlers, and a chance for its participants to shine brightly on a global stage.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. It'll be fun. With the amount of amazing talent in the junior heavyweight division around the world right now.
It's really interesting, though, because another thing I read this week, and I didn't get it to the news, and I should have, because it probably should be our headline story, is California is looking to ban companies that use independent contractors. So
they're not banning independent contractors, but the companies have to give or they have to have access for independent contractors to PTO, to benefits such as health care, to benefits such as life insurance, to all the things you would give an employer. They can have independent contractors, but they have to give them all the benefits of an employer. I did read that as well, so
yes.
That's gonna
rock the world, and things always start with California and spread out, you know what I mean?
I think it's good. It is going, I hate to say this, because it is going to hurt the independent promotions the most first.
Very much.
Especially there's a lot of California-based ones. So that is sad, but it's something that should be done.
I think so. They put their bodies on the line more than most people in any given workplace.
I guess I take that back. The people it's going to hurt, the independent promoters, it shouldn't be done to, because they're the ones who have legitimate independent contractors.
Well,
they're the wrestlers who can come and work there, and then they can come and work Ring of Honor, and then they can go to Japan and work Japan, then they can go to Mexico, work Mexico. They can do a dark match in WWE. So they're legit independent contractors. The people it should officially affect are the big companies who are now just going to avoid California,
Right.
which are the ones that say you can't work for anybody but us, but we're not going to give you any benefits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting seeing how that all pans out going forward.
Pan's Labyrinth, local. But, no, this is really good news. I'm excited to see it. I will say, though, I think I mentioned it last week, and I'm going to mention it this week. They're going too American on us, and they don't need to bring the Super J. Why not have the Super J Cup have one event in the United States?
Yeah.
And the rest over there. Just do one back in San Francisco. Y'all
My
did
thing
great
is,
in San
it's been
Francisco.
really hard this last year for any Japanese or Chinese superstars to get the visas to come work over here, and it always bites them in the ass right before the show. So I'm hoping if they're doing this, they're doing it right and getting their ducks in a row.
Oh, I hope so as well.
But
New
I still
Japan's
think
pretty
this is
good
some
at that.
crazy Trump-McMahon conspiracy to keep them out because they're competition.
That would not surprise me, to be honest.
It feels like it, right?
It does. It certainly feels like it. And speaking of New Japan, I just want to throw this out here, Paystee. New Japan Pro Wrestling Global Twitter account threw some shade at WWE this past Monday. They put on there, "We know there's a real shortage of professional wrestling on Monday nights, so every week we make a new match from our archives free to watch." Damn, way to take a shot at the lowering ratings.
Hell yeah.
Which, it's awesome that they're putting out free content. Way to go. And it's perfect. That's awesome.
It's the right time, man. Everybody needs to move in. Everybody needs to put as much pressure on WWE as possible. If not to take over, to benefit wrestling as a whole.
Oh, for sure. I would agree.
Even the dogs
100%.
agree.
They agree way too fucking much. I don't know what happened.
Oh, boy. Yeah, things are crazy around the world. And, some new news out of Mexico, huh?
Oh, yeah, man. This is going to be awesome. Lucha Central announced the launch of a new wrestling promotion out of Mexico, Nacion Lucha Libre, headed by Alberto El Patron and Chavo Guerrero Jr. The debut show will take place on July 11th in Mexico City at Sala de Armas. They will have a TV show on Mexico's Image TV every Saturday night, beginning on July 13th from 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to midnight. The Upstart Federation's first show features some great talent, Paystee. Amazing talent, including the Lucha Brothers, Bestia 666, La Mascaras, Dos Caras, Hijo de Dos Caras, Hijo de Dr. Wagner, Sexy Star, Flamita, Daga, well, of course, Ricardo Rodriguez, and a Mexico versus Puerto Rico main event of El Patron, Hijo del Fantasma, who some of you might know as King Cuerno from Lucha Underground, and Ray Wagner versus MVP, Apollo, and Messias. Other names that are also rumored to be on the roster are LAX, Taurus, Laredo Kid, Puma King, Ray Horace, who you might know as Dragon Azteca Jr., Bram, and Thunder Rosa, who was Cobra Moon in Lucha Underground.
Damn, son.
Amazing talent.
That is a crazy lineup. Why the fuck is Sexy Star in that mix? That's definitely Alberto's idea.
That is Alberto's idea.
He's like, I could do some cocaine with her.
I can't believe she even still gets work, to be honest.
Yeah, for real.
I think it's stupid.
Yeah, yep.
But otherwise, I mean,
that is very solid. I would watch this promotion just for the tag teams.
Yeah, they're not, as far as we know, there's not going to be an English commentary team. It's not going to air in the United States. This is strictly a Mexico promotion. We're guessing that it's going to compete with AAA and CMLL. But with El Patron and Guerrero Jr. at the helm and all of this talent connected to it, it could become, this could be the AEW of Mexico.
Yeah, that's where the feeling is for sure. You know, I'm not huge on Mexican wrestling, but I do know like 90% of the names on this list, and that's got me real excited.
Oh, for sure. And there's, I mean, sort of like AEW, there's some veterans, such as Dos Caras and La Mascara. You got Bestia 666. But then you also have some up-and-comers, like, of course, the Lucha Brothers, and Hijo de Dos Caras, Hijo de Dr. Wagner, Flamada Daga, we know all of them. You got people such as MVP, who is awesome. Messias, Puma King, Laredo Kid. I mean, it's just... Bram. That's a gringo. That's a gringo they're bringing in.
Good.
Who's on TNA Impact. LAX. Holy shit. Ortiz and Santana, Paystee. Imagine what they could do when the reins are loosened from the American sports authorities to the little looser Hispanic sports authorities.
There you go. LAX in a Mexican death match. I would eat that the shit up. Put them against the Lucha Bros. Let's see some shit. No, let's keep the Lucha Bros safe. Don't let the Lucha Bros do anything stupid. I'm happy to see them anywhere, but I need them in AEW.
I just want them to be in a place where I can watch them. That's what's important to me.
Hey, good ups on Mexico for having this new promotion and keeping it from America. You deserve that. I hope it does extremely well.
Yeah, shove that in Trump's pipe and smoke it.
Right. And what if it's a secret deal? Like, part of his secret deal is he's going to get it airing on American TV. I am sorry, I don't try to get too political on the show, folks, but goddamn, we live in a zoo.
Every now and then you just can't avoid it. You just can't avoid it.
If it wasn't all so comical to me, like, it's terrifying, but it's so terrifying I can't help but to laugh.
Yeah, it'd be as bad as having a show coming out and finding out you're double booked and you may not even get to start on time.
Oh, no. You mean like Impact's Digital Destruction?
Fuck, just like that. That's ironic you said that. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Man, this is... It sounds like Impact's Digital Destruction event is that the sports arena in St. James, New York had double booked the venue, and the ring could not be set up until a scheduled soccer game ended. Fuck you, shit. Soccer.
Football.
Shane O'Neill from New York Wrestling Connection and his team pitched in to help, and everything was set up by 4:39. Just 19 minutes, folks, before they had to go on air on Twitch.
Wow. That's cutting it close.
Let's hope they kept Vampiro away from there.
No shit.
Keep him off of Twitch. Had they run late with the ring, the plan was to start streaming live with a pre-show featuring talents and the announcers talking to stall until the ring was ready.
Well, you know, I will say this for
hey, that's a hell of a pre-show for the fans who got to be in the arena to sit there and watch them put a ring together at light speed.
That would be entertaining.
Yeah, it would. Take my money.
And I will say for this new Impact hierarchy compared to the old Dixie Carter one, at least these people had a backup plan.
Yes.
The Dixie Carter one wouldn't have had a backup plan, and they would have aired
2 days later.
They would have just aired people setting up the ring, and we would have had 20 minutes of people setting up the ring with no commentary. So, at least they thought ahead and were like, oh shit. And you know, again, this isn't as far as we know.
I want it with some hyped up, like, main event style commentary.
Look at them put on the ring apron. It's amazing. He's rounding the turnbuckle. No, but as far as we know from everything that we've looked into, this was not Impact's issue at all. They did nothing wrong. This was all on the sports arena in St. James. They're the ones that double booked, and they're the ones that fucked up. They double booked, expecting that the soccer game would end on time or early, and it went longer, and they fucked up. But I give them credit. They've really been working hard on all of their specials, and they're going out of their way to make sure that they are going to be an alternative, if not competitive, in this increasingly saturated market, just as we talked about with the new Mexican company.
It's really good. It's really good because, like, lately especially, I feel like, well, it's more so on the Ring of Honor end, but I feel like a lot of these companies are kind of fading to the void, even though they matter, and they matter to a lot of people. But with the rise of AEW and everybody complaining about WWE, I feel like a lot of them are being overshadowed. I haven't even really thought about Ring of Honor at all lately.
Yeah, I think both Ring of Honor and Impact have both taken probably the biggest bite of the bullet. I mean, it's a shame that Stone Cold doesn't put out new episodes of his podcast anymore, because one of the head people from either of those companies or one of the main stars getting on something like that sure could bring some traffic to them.
Well, Fat Mack, there's hope.
Why?
Because Stone Cold put out a tweet this week, and that tweet's read Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast will return June 18th with convo with Tony Khan, talking Double or Nothing and all things wrestling. Holy shit.
Crap. I thought he was done.
I don't know, man, because we had just talked, a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, about how he was supposed to have this thing coming up with USA where he's sitting and talking, not necessarily about wrestling, but just talking with his friends.
Talking, BSing.
Yeah, and that was, it seemed like that had some WWE connotation with it being on USA and everything, but his first podcast back is with Tony fucking Khan.
Which is good. Tony Khan's been making the rounds. Good for him.
It is good for him.
He's
fucking Vince McMahon doesn't do this. I mean, he did have a sit-down with Stone Cold on the WWE Network.
Yeah, his controlled environment.
I also loved how on the WWE Network Stone Cold podcast, how every episode they'd reference him staring at them from across the room, like making sure they didn't say anything they weren't supposed to.
Right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's almost like a WWE studio film.
Hey, Vince, hit us up. Try to put us on the network. I guess we might be able to handle it.
Maybe.
I mean, Fat Mack over here can suck a dick.
I can suck a dick the same way WWE is sucking Netflix's dick, Paystee. Because apparently, according to PW Insider, WWE Studios have been working with Netflix to develop original feature films. Multiple films, that is.
Woo!
The plan is to release them
Marine 7
onto Netflix's streaming platform in lieu of WWE's usual straight-to-DVD model. The first of these movies, Paystee, is entitled The Main Event. Now, I'm going to give you the synopsis of the story, and I want you, Paystee, to tell me what's wrong with this, okay?
All right.
All right, so, it will tell the story of a bullied 10-year-old boy who dreams of growing up to become a WWE professional wrestler. However, he gets to live his dream earlier than expected when he discovers the secret to having super strength in his breakfast cereal.
Bootios?
Becoming the Spaghetti Kid.
Yeah, it should be the Pancake Kid, right?
Yeah, well, how in the fuck does the Spaghetti Kid come from breakfast cereal? Does this motherfucker eat spaghetti for breakfast cereal? Like, does he just take a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs and dump milk in it and call it... What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
That's a really weirdly worded synopsis. Like, what?
And he's got super strength.
Cereal.
So he's got
Spaghetti
big muscles,
Kid.
Right? Not spaghetti arms. He doesn't have the ability to stretch. He's not fucking Dr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Elastic. The Elastic Man. There's all of them. But what the fuck is this? Spaghetti Kid because he ate breakfast cereal? Like, that is not part of a balanced breakfast. I'm sorry.
Maybe he wasn't paying attention and poured milk on leftover spaghetti from last night, and that's where his powers came from.
I just think this is just the most
I'm going to make spaghetti this week, and I'm going to pour milk on it, and I'll be back next week to let you guys know how that works.
That is so awesome. And I'm going to put marinara sauce and meatballs in a bowl of cornflake and let y'all know how it is. Because we gotta get an answer to this conundrum.
Right.
It's crazy. It's so crazy, I don't even have a segue into the next news article, Paystee.
That's okay, because I do. Not really. But Fandango, Killian Dane, and Apollo Crews have all returned to NXT.
And you know what? I couldn't be more happier.
It's good.
Because definitely Fandango and Apollo Crews, they made me so happy in NXT, and I haven't cared for them at all on the main roster.
And hey, Tyler Breeze and Fandango get to reunite on a brand that matters, where they'll be used.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if they bring up the old
I hope they don't tag
not.
team, though. I want them to fight.
Killian Dane, you know, everybody who's listened to this in the past knows I'm not the biggest proponent of him, but he has impressed me on occasion. And I think in NXT...
Hey, he'll get to stand on his own here.
That's the only place he'll be able to showcase his talents. He'll never impress me on the main roster.
Unless he falls in with the Lost Boys or whatever the fuck they're called.
Oh, there's a Lost Boys.
Apollo Crews, though, he was better used on NXT, but I was still never 100% behind him.
He needs to leave WWE.
Yeah, any other company, I think he'd be great.
Oh yeah, he'd be an asset in any company other than WWE. Because you know what the worst thing is, Paystee? I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. There's so many talented people in NXT, and Apollo Crews is more talented than the majority of them.
But they don't deserve to have the spotlight taken from them for him.
No, that's not what I'm going to say. What I'm going to say, Apollo Crews is black. He's not going to get the show that they get. Unless he starts doing a stereotypical black gimmick like Street Profits, they're just not going to push him. He's black.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. They've got Ricochet... And they've got all these other people who are such good athletes, they don't need a black guy who's a good athlete. They have plenty of white guys and Mexicans that are good athletes. That's the truth. I hate to say it, and that's not my thoughts. To me, that's WWE's thoughts. And I would dare say, not only is that Vince McMahon's thoughts, I think that's Triple H's thoughts. Triple H does not, for all of the positives you can say about who he pushes, he does not push African Americans, does he, Paystee?
No.
Women, men, anything.
Our truth our truth is your 24/7 champion. There's a push.
Yep, that's a joke. Bianca Belair should be bigger than she is on NXT. She's not.
She just lost on NXT this week again. I watched NXT this week, actually.
You know, they push the Hispanics, they push the Asians, and I love the Hispanic talent, and I love the Asian talent. And there's so many talented Caucasians, and I'm not saying there isn't, but they seem to just think if you're black, we'll put you in there, you do a song and dance, you lose, but you know what? By gum, the black community will cheer you, so it doesn't fucking matter. As long as we show you smiling and dancing, buddy. It's disgusting, and that's what I see personally. It might not be right, that might not even be true. That's what I see.
Yeah. There is a new African American guy. He might not be new, but he's not been on any takeovers as I've seen, and he really impressed me. I'm trying to remember what his name is here really quick.
Remember. That's what I call it when I let my dong out of my shorts. I call it free member. And while Paystee is thinking of that, I think we're going to move into the Wrestler's Court.
Oh, shit.
And within the Wrestler's Court, the first thing we're going to do is an update.
It was Keith Lee. Sorry.
Week.
Have you seen Keith Lee?
Oh yeah.
Has
I
he
think
wrestled?
He's an amazing talent.
Everything I looked up, it said he's just an NXT guy. Has he wrestled anywhere else? Because he's very familiar to me. He's extremely.
Yeah, he's been in Ring of Honor. He's been all over. Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, was he MMA or something? He's huge. Yeah,
he's a big dude.
Yeah,
big dude.
I see Vince to push him.
On NXT for a while.
I see Vince to push him because he's got this face that. I'm sorry, Apollo Crews cannot express anger.
No,
he could not be a big bad heel guy.
Or at least he hasn't yet.
Bobby Lashley for Vince cannot accomplish that either. But I think Keith Lee.
Lee is an amazing talent.
Hell yeah. Where the fuck have I seen him before?
He is, and I hate to say this because this might sound racist, he is the African-American Kevin Owens, is what I consider him.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
If I have to compare him to a Caucasian, that's what I'm saying. He is the African-American Kevin Owens. And if you're going to be compared to somebody, shit, that's a good guy to be compared to.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. No, I love Keith Lee. He is amazing. Somebody who is not amazing is Ric Flair's former manager, Melinda Morris Zanoni? Is that what we decided, Paystee? Zamboni!
Yes.
And her company, Legacy Talent, announced on Thursday night that they have filed a civil lawsuit for defamation over the YouTube video released and later deleted by the WWE two-time Hall of Famer.
Well, what the fuck did he do now?
Well, as we noted last week, Flair alleged that Zamboni had embezzled money from him, allowed trademarks to lapse, and that he had documented proof of his claims. Now, Flair stated the statements in his video were made with the permission of his new legal representation. So this story is kind of ongoing. First, Flair is accusing her. Now she's accusing him. I don't know anything about this Melinda Zamboni woman. Flair has a sketchy history of legal affairs.
Mm-hmm.
But not recently, as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope he hasn't slept with her, or this could get real ugly.
I'm sure he has slept with her. Let's not even... We're not even going to... Let's hope he didn't... We know he slept with her, so that's just...
Now he gets to add Zamboni to his repertoire. The limousine riding, jet flying, Zamboni gliding.
You damn right. So, I mean, that's kind of the update there. I don't have a lot to say on it, other than now we've got both sides of the story, and we will definitely keep you up to date.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
as it breaks.
That's gonna be some heated shit. Did you hear about this, Fat Mack?
I might have.
I don't know. The Daily Beast has reported former WWE and TNA performer George Murdoch, formerly known as Tyrus or Brodus Clay, was reportedly removed from his Fox Nation show UnPC due to a sexual harassment complaint filed by co-host Britt McHenry. Mark Henry? Am I reading
Mark
that?
Henry.
British Mark Henry.
The British Mark Henry is upset. Paystee,
speaking of Mark Henry, was it not super amusing to see him among the YouTubers trying to get interviews at StarCast?
It was great.
I love that.
I do have to admit also that, I don't know that I have to admit, but can we just say that when you're on a show called UnPC,
yeah, you
can you really be upset that you're being sexually harassed? Like nobody should ever be sexually harassed in the workplace. But
yeah, I mean, your
show was called UnPC,
right?
What did you think? Go ahead, finish the story, Paystee.
Yes, allegedly, Mark Henry was sent numerous unsolicited text messages by Tyrus.
No, he wasn't sent it. What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mark Henry. Sorry, Mark Henry. Oh my God, you got me confused.
Oh, yes.
Mark Henry.
Yes.
He's in this now.
Mark Henry. Yes. Allegedly, yes. Mark Henry was sent numerous unsolicited text messages by Tyrus, which contained lewd and sexual statements. Tyrus was questioned by The Hollywood Reporter's Jeremy Barr via Twitter about the incident, to which Tyrus responded, "No comment and don't message me again." That does not sound good.
He got ghosted! Ghosted.
Uh,
I love that our legal proceedings are now taking place on Twitter, too.
right?
I think that's just...
Thank you, Trump.
Pretty soon we're going to have court via Twitter.
Right.
Like, you won't even have to go to the courthouse. It's just like, you might Skype, maybe, like if it's a felony. A misdemeanor? Nah, you just got to type some shit in.
I'm sure if impeachment does happen, Trump will watch it on Fox Sports while tweeting. And
pretty soon, Twitter's going to have a guilty or no guilty button. It's just going to be for court proceedings. You just fucking log into Twitter and it's like, I do not
It's the
guilty.
first episode of Black Mirror all over again.
Oh my gosh, first episode of Black Mirror was horrible.
It was. I didn't watch any more after that night. People are like, you should.
I didn't either.
You should.
Everybody says it's amazing, and it's just the first one killed it.
It was so bad. So bad.
It was so bad. It was, you know what, I wanted to divorce it, Paystee.
Yep.
Just like the poor King of Dong style.
Oh, yeah. Poor King of Dong style. Freeze the beast, and he's so sad.
Yeah, the King of Dong style is soon to be the King of Divorce style. Yeah, I went there. Joey Ryan, Paystee, and Laura James, who made headlines back in February of 2016 after Ryan proposed during their Finest City Wrestling intergender match in San Diego, California.
God, that must have been like... I mean, he was blown up back then, but not to where he's at now. That must have been like where shit really hit traction.
Oh, it was great. And you know what? At the time, we posted it. And, but now they're getting a divorce. And TMZ reports that the couple actually separated only 11 months after they got married back in November 2017. They didn't even make it 12 months, just shy of a year.
Word to the wise, don't ask somebody to marry you when a promoter tells you to.
So they officially filed for divorce on Tuesday of this week, folks. James noted in the divorce documents that they are calling it quits due to, quote, irreconcilable differences.
Well, yeah, half the nation touches his cock more than she does.
Exactly. So, folks, we have reposted the 2016 proposal video on our Facebook page, and it is beautiful and it is awesome, and I loved it when I first seen it. So go to our page, check it out. It is the beginning of an end, but it's cool.
You know, and that kind of ties into his little statement about not signing with WWE or All Elite, saying he was married to the independent scene.
He wants to be independent.
Uh-huh.
Not married, not...
So maybe that was just him announcing the divorce, and maybe that wasn't him saying he won't be at either of these promotions.
That could have been. That could have been. I think it could have been.
Well, from what could have been to what recently was, it's time for New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 6.9 results.
6.9?
Yes. They should have took out the point. I probably would have watched it.
I think you may have.
Dominion 69.
So, this, as
can we
we
make
said
a pro
last
wrestling?
week...
Can we fund a pro wrestling porno called Dominion 69?
I mean,
John
we can
Coxley.
fund any pornos we want.
We can have John Coxley.
We can make all the pornos we want. Dude, I'll just send you my unused
Chris
footage.
Fellatio.
All the footage that isn't currently on Pornhub, I'll just send you. I got a good, 7 hours worth.
Kazuchika Chodkada.
Pornhub. For sure.
Let's do it. B6 Podcast, we're getting into producing pornography, folks.
Jushin pound her longer. You know.
Juice Robinson won't change. Oh, Juice Robinson.
Juice rubbing some. Juice rubbing some.
And the Bullet Club, instead of guns with bullets, it's a fucking bullet dildo.
Well, it's a bullet. I don't know you could call a bullet a dildo. Everybody listening knows what a bullet is. Anyways. First off, they started off hot, Paystee.
Yeah.
A non-title match, Jon Moxley,
The Death Rider.
The Death Rider and IWGP United States Champion, defeated Shota Imuni. I'm going to try to go somewhat quickly through most of these results, but basically this, I took notes. This was basically a way to get Moxley on the card, put him over, and basically deliver the announcement that he's going to be in the G1. So with that being said, it was effective, but this was a match you could have seen on WWE TV. I mean, nothing to write home about.
3 minutes and 52 seconds from the looks of it. That's kind of sad.
It was, yeah. I mean, it pushed Jon Moxley. It's another example of, like I said, I'm not happy that New Japan's just going so American.
It's really weird. I guess it's probably to draw in more of the American audience, though. You know what I mean?
It is, and we know they're trying to expand, and I don't dog them for that.
They should know, though, there's a bunch of us who don't care if we're watching American guys or not. New Japan is a strong product through and through.
Yeah, but there are probably less of us than there are of the people that, they're aiming for. So.
the only saving grace is it's the United States Championship. And so it's like, yeah, you would, but I do still feel kind of bad for Juice Robinson. I mean, I'm sure he was happy to hand it down, begrudgingly happy. Like, I want to have a match with you, and if I have to give you the title, yeah, I guess I will. But
right. Yeah, you said that last week.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so you and I both picked Moxley. We knew he wasn't going to lose. You and I were not sure if the title was on the line or not, and we knew he wouldn't lose the title. This was, in fact, a non-title match, but that being said, we both got a point right off the bat, Paystee.
Your name is Not Sure.
Not sure.
I need to watch, what? Idiocracy. His name is Not Sure.
Idiocracy is an okay movie. Compared to the rest of Mike Judge's stuff, not the best it's ever done.
No.
But good.
But it's if you don't look at it as a Mike Judge thing, it's really good.
There you go. Next up, we have Shingo Bingo Tagachi defeating Satoshi Kojima.
Boingo Takagi. I'm going to keep coming up with poor names for these guys.
Shingo lost the tournament, and so the G1 tournament, and I figured if he lost the G1 tournament, they have to give him this one. I picked him. You thought he's going on a losing streak. You didn't. So now I got 2, you got 1. Not a lot else to say.
Hey, we also got
match.
NJSPW. Fuck. What did you just say? The G1. Oh yeah, the G-Spot Climax.
Don't know what
we'll have the G-Spot Climax as a sequel.
We're having a G1 Climax.
Dominion 69 and the G-Spot Climax.
I'm down with that.
Yes. You got to have a series.
So with that, we got Jushin Thunder Liger and Yoshihashi going up against Suzuki Gun. That was Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. Paystee, we were both thinking that Suzuki and Sabre could not lose to Liger and Yoshihashi, but fuck if we weren't wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were indeed wrong.
Yeah, this was a good match. Not a ton to say about it. Next we had a 6-man tag where you had Tanahashi, Juice Robinson, and Taguchi versus the Bullet Club, comprised of Jay White, Chase Owens, and Taji Ishimori.
Breathe with the switchblade. My switchblade doesn't breathe.
This is a match that, you could take or leave it. This is one of the matches, one of the rare New Japan matches that I think you should have been way better than it was, and I think they knew their place on the card,
mm-hmm.
which isn't bad. But when you got Tanahashi and you got Switchblade Jay White, who is just champion and is leader of the Bullet Club. It's like, I guess I expected way more from this. I didn't get it.
Switchblade Spray White, you mean? Breed with the Switchblade.
You're scaring me, Chris. You're really scaring me. Next up, we had Never Openweight Championship. Tomohiro Ishii defeated
Chai T.
Tai Chi, the champion. This was a fucking, as JR would say, slobber knocker. High intensity, brutal exchanges. This could have been match of the night. I recommend everybody watch it. I don't think it was, but it could have been. Taichi went through just tremendous pain and really had to fight through if he wanted to keep his title, but it didn't happen. The Stone Pitbull ended up beating him out and taking the Never Openweight Championship, but oh my gosh, this was... of course, we all know that Ishii is super physical.
Oh, yeah.
Tai Chi is good, but this was one of those where it's like, oh shit, he can go hardcore. And he did. He went fucking super hardcore. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's one I'll definitely go back and watch.
You gotta go back, you gotta watch it.
I gotta go back.
Now this next one, the IWGP Tag Team Championship. Gorillas of Destiny, the Bullet Club, beat Evil and Sonata of Los Ingobernables de Japón. Basically, now this stood out if for no other reason than because it was actually more story and gimmick driven, which you usually don't see, but you can see the Western influence coming through in this.
Yeah.
But it worked. It worked really good. There was not much of the high risk, strong style sort of stuff involved at all in this. This kind of reminded me of the Attitude Era, believe it or not. It relied on interference from Jado, a save by Bushi, and the outcome had controversy because Bushi kind of set it up. So now it almost seems like I'm thinking that there's going to be a rematch coming up that would involve Bushi and Jado going forward. So I don't know, but it was really, if you wanted to see a WWE style New Japan match, and I would say, let me refresh that. I would say a late 90s WWE style New Japan match. Not today's style. I would definitely watch this. For anybody... Let's
Maybe
put it
this is
way.
going to
For
be one of the
anybody
first ones they release for free to the American audience on Monday.
It could be. For anybody who's not familiar with New Japan, IWGP Tag Team Championship match, Gorillas of Destiny defeating Evil and Sonata from Dominion 6.9 is the one you should probably watch.
I'm excited. I really wish I would have got to see it this week.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, Dragon Lee versus Will Ospreay. It's amazing. I don't know what else to say other than it's Will Ospreay and Dragon Lee. Will Ospreay beat Dragon Lee for the title.
Hell yeah.
What more could you ask for?
Hey, it gave me a point.
It did. And at this point, you're not up. Yeah, you are up.
I'm finally up.
Now you're up.
For the first time. I was down until the Never Openweight Championship where we brought it to a tie. And here's where I'm up.
And then we were tied all the way through, and now you're up. And then we have the Intercontinental Championship match, which seen Tetsuya Naito defeat Kota Ibushi
Match of the
for
year?
the title. This was an awesome match. And Ibushi played the sympathetic babyface Paystee. Just amazing. What I noticed the most, I watched this with the English commentary. If you didn't watch the English commentary, his facial expressions and his selling
Told the whole story, yeah.
You would have known, you wouldn't have needed any English commentary
That's
at all.
the best thing about wrestling. It translates all. It defies all language barriers.
It does. It does. Kota took some severe abuse at the hands of Naito, and it really gave him sympathy, and the fans were just behind him. The storytelling was just superb. Naito was the aggressive veteran seeking for his fourth title reign here, and he just gave it his all. And Naito pulled everything unloading on Ibushi until the elusive Destino finally put Ibushi down for the count. That Destino is a BA move, folks. Very BA move. I do want to note here the finishing moments of the match were a bit sloppy. But other than that, awesome.
Hey, you
awesome,
still got about
awesome,
22
awesome
minutes
match.
of great content.
Oh, fucking non-stop. And then the main event, IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Kazuchika Okada successfully defended his belt against Chris Jericho in a match that was the first time I think Jericho really put his all in the ring in New Japan since the 90s. This was not a ringside hardcore bloodfest sort of match. This was a New Japan style match, which we haven't seen Chris do since he's returned. So it was pretty impressive. Jericho just beat down and overwhelmed Okada from the beginning. From the very beginning. He constantly cut off any comebacks. Okada would start to do something. Nope, Jericho had him down. But the majority of it took place in the ring. We did get a good table spot.
Always got to have a table spot.
But just the one table spot, you know?
Tasteful tables.
It was.
That should be a pay-per-view title.
It was good, and basically the end came when, and to be fair, they both tried their moves over and over again. Okada even hit a code breaker and couldn't get the pin. He ended up missing a Rainmaker. Jericho went for a Judas effect. He missed it. Okada went for a Rainmaker again. Jericho went for a sunset flip. Okada sat down on him, got the 1-2-3 pin. So it kind of protected Jericho a little bit. You know, he didn't get beat by a finisher or nothing.
Yeah.
So I could almost see I almost think there has to be a rematch, because not only the finish, which was a clean finish. I'm not going to say there wasn't any dispute about it. It was a clean finish, but it was, you know, I sat down on a sunset flip.
Well, I mean, we still haven't got to see the Rainmaker into the Judas elbow, so.
No, we haven't. And the fact that it was a very New Japan style match makes me think that there is a hardcore, bloodthirsty match later on coming up.
I'd love that.
Oh, I would definitely love it.
So that ends the pay-per-view with both of us tied at 4-4.
4-4, Paystee. We called it a tie. I'm still winning then.
Yep, that's right. Nope. Because
What?
the tiebreaker was who would win the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. And I picked Will Ospreay, my friend.
And I picked Shingo Bingo.
And thusly, I win in the end.
You got it,
It's
Paystee.
nice to win off a tiebreaker. That's a good feeling.
We don't get it enough, but it's the reason we have these.
Yes, indeed.
Which, folks, I hope you appreciate these tiebreakers, because these are some of the hardest things we ever have to come up with.
Right, because it can't be like...
It can't be random. It has to be a straight black or white.
It can't be super random. It can't be super obvious either.
No, because that's too much.
So we put quite a bit of thought into this. And last week, like we had said, this came down to like just a few minutes. We had to choose our pony for the tiebreaker because it was about to air on TV in America that morning. And
we did it, and it worked out in your favor, Paystee.
Yes, indeed.
You owned it, and I love a good tiebreaker finish. That's like a wrestling match that goes into OT. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. It's good stuff.
It's never a letdown. It's never a letdown.
What was a letdown was pretty much the entirety of WWE's Super Showdown, live from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. We're gonna... a lot of people would leave this one for the last portion of our complaint section. Yeah. We're opening this can of worms right at the top. And I know if you are a wrestling fan and you've followed anything in the past week, you know what we're talking about. And that's...
Oh, for sure.
The Undertaker and Goldberg.
And full disclosure here, Fat Mack has vowed to not watch any of the Saudi Arabia shows, and I stand behind that. I won't watch them. I won't watch them on the network. I won't watch them on YouTube. I won't even watch them illegally because it's just my pride. But Paystee said, Fat Mack, we are going to talk the Undertaker-Goldberg match in detail in the next episode. You have to watch it. So, full disclosure, I went out, I found I'm putting it out here, putting it out for everyone to hear, I found an illegal link that WWE would not get any credit, would not get any points, would not get any money for me watching, and I watched Undertaker versus Goldberg just so we could break it down today because it's that bad.
It was really, really hard to watch.
But WWE got no money and no points from me for any of this.
Same here.
So
I heard about it. I did watch it on YouTube, but not on WWE YouTube.
There you go.
I could not believe what I saw. I mean, I could, because this is what you expect, but it's like the worst.
It's what we thought.
It's like the worst case scenario out of what you would expect all the way through.
Truly, we didn't expect near-death experiences, right?
Many of them. God, this was hard.
Break it down for us,
Let's get into it. So, Undertaker and Goldberg nearly murdered each other in a sloppy, difficult-to-watch 8-minute botch fest. Last week we had reported the match was 13 minutes. Nah, after the entrances, just 8 minutes. As you would expect. I mean, fuck, they both take a while to get to the ring.
Oh, right.
In which not only did Goldberg knock himself unconscious, hitting his head on the ring post when delivering a spear less than 3 minutes into the bout.
3 minutes?
But he decided to finish the match, or to try to, which resulted in Goldberg dropping Undertaker on his head in an awful attempt at a jackhammer, and Undertaker returned the favor, though not on purpose, on old Bleedy McHeadbutt door, which he apparently did on his way to the ring too, although they did not show that in the footage. They just showed him walking down the hallway. But you can notice there's a red dot in the middle of his head where he had wiped the blood away from headbutting the fucking door, possibly concussing himself before concussing himself again.
And that's a classic Goldberg move, and that's a problem he's had in the past.
So yeah, it was Undertaker tried to get him in a tombstone, and he didn't get him up all the way, and his head was super low. You could tell even before the move went into full motion that it was not set up properly.
Super.
Dropped him hard on his head and neck.
Folks, we have a slow-mo replay of that on our Facebook page. Check out facebook.com/beefstickspodcast. There's a slow-mo replay of Undertaker. You can't believe he didn't paralyze the man.
No, it's botches like this are the reason 90% of the people are not allowed to do this move.
Yeah, truly.
And now the one man who Vince could trust to do it probably shouldn't do it ever again.
Oh, and let's just say this, Paystee. Okada fucking showed, you didn't see it, but Okada owned the tombstone. Not only giving a beautiful tombstone pile driver to Chris Jericho, but also giving a spinning tombstone pile driver beautifully to Jericho, and might I say, super safe.
Let's see you try that one, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We also had the worst knee bar attempt I've ever seen in my life put on by a blown-up Goldberg in desperate need of a rest hold. Like, he's just hugging his leg, and you can watch Undertaker, like, get his other leg over the other one, so it looks like... Because I'm assuming Goldberg was supposed to do the figure eight, or the what the fuck?
Grapevine.
Yeah, well, Undertaker, what is his called? His leg lock. The triangle.
Oh, the Hell's Gate.
Hell's Gate. There
the
you
Hell's
go.
Gate.
That's what it looked like it was supposed to be after Undertaker put his leg over. But it was basically just Goldberg hugging Undertaker's leg, gasping for breath.
Down for a break.
It was really... I honestly, beyond dropping people on their heads, I think that was the worst spot in the match.
Right.
Sorry. I'm editing this week. It's okay. So I guess we can't stop this nightmare without a finish, right? So here comes a spear attempt by Goldberg into a reversal tombstone. But Goldie can't jump more than a few inches off the mat, which is a recurring problem in this match. He does not get any air in any of the spots, forcing Undertaker to try to lift the full weight of the man.
Right, like lifting a sandbag.
Yeah.
That hence the term sandbag.
Yep, and this was supposed to be the finishing spot, but botched halfway through, Taker did not even attempt a repeat of the spot like you'd see anybody else in WWE do. Oh, we got to reset it up, redo the last three moves. And get
he's a vet. He's a veteran.
And he looks so fucking disgusted.
He called an audible.
And then he delivered a very sad chokeslam for the 3 count.
Very sad.
After the match, Goldberg actually collapsed ringside, unable to get up and needing assistance. And that video's on our Facebook page. As well as Undertaker just looking furious throughout most of the match. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? The official should have called it off after the 52-year-old Goldberg took the ring post to the head.
Truly.
The call put 2 legends' lives at risk and had 0 positive outcome. Vince McMahon, do you see what we're talking about now? Let them rest and stop begging and offering them insane amounts of money to be part of this stupid fucking dog and pony show. And that's why these Gramps are our beef of the week. You can blame it on out of condition. You can blame it on the heat in the arena. You can blame it on Vince McMahon just being a fucking money-grubbing asshole.
And the bottom line is, when we say that these Gramps
and anybody who allowed this match to happen, God,
not only Undertaker and Goldberg, but Vince McMahon.
Painful.
These 3
painful
men
match to watch.
Knew that this shouldn't have fucking
If Undertaker
happened.
and Goldberg wrestle again, I'll be very disappointed. Goldberg needs some fucking training before.
I don't think either one needs to. Well, Goldberg could wrestle again. Undertaker needs to call it quits. Goldberg just needs to not... Yeah, and he just needs to not fucking whap his head before the match and not whap his head during the match.
Honestly, Goldberg probably would not have hit his head on the ring post if it wouldn't have been so hot in there. He was probably a lot more sweaty than he's used to be in a match, because his matches don't go that long. It's really hard to call all the way across, but it was a bad call on Vince McMahon's part.
Maybe not. We don't know. It was a bad call all the way around. And Paystee, you nailed.
Like, nobody can say no. Nobody can say no to that kind of money.
Offering them these insane amounts of money. If Vince McMahon called me up and said, "Hey pal, I'm going to give you $3 million if you let me hook your testicles up to this car battery and shock you for 5 minutes," I'm going to be like, you know what? Might be erotic. And I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm going to do it. It doesn't, I know
especially
better,
at like Undertaker and Goldberg's age, that
I'm
money's not even for them.
Say,
that's for like the next generation of family members.
I know it's not cool.
And they know their time is nearing an end or should have been ended a long time ago in the Undertaker's case.
They know
John Cena also in the whole
now.
spiel of him joining the crew of Fast and Furious said now might be the time he's actually going to consider retiring from WWE. Which honestly, isn't he already? Well, yeah, I suppose.
No.
He wasn't at Mania though.
No more than Undertaker or Triple H are. There you go. He wasn't at Mania. But, if we're going to talk about the shitty shit that happened at the Super LetDown in Saudi Arabia, I think we have to mention that Dave Meltzer said certain superstars were very unhappy with the show, Paystee. He said, quote, "Most guys don't want to rock the boat," which makes sense, and we've heard that from so many people who have left the company. But he said some guys wanted to go, but I heard most didn't think they should go. It was an awfully long trip. One person told me if it were up to him, he would
Did you hear about their fucking schedule that weekend?
But it's not up to him, so that doesn't matter. And
fly to Saudi Arabia.
Like,
do this show in 102-degree heat. Get right back on the plane, flying out to California for house shows for the weekend, then Raw, SmackDown, and then you get a break. Plus all that jet lag. You have half a world between you and Saudi Arabia, and you're doing that twice in probably 24 hours.
And so let's bring this up, Paystee. You mentioned that. Let's bring this up. WWE's schedule actually hurts itself to the point to where Raw and SmackDown, at least now, and we know that SmackDown's going to be different come this fall with Fox, but as of now, Raw and SmackDown are the two last stops in their rotation. So they spend all that time, let's say Saudi Arabia, but it can be anywhere.
Yeah, and then by the time you actually hit TV, you're tired.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They do all them. Yeah, so how do you expect them to have these good men? No wonder the fucking ratings are down. Because how can these motherfuckers even want to wrestle at that point? They put out their best matches already. It's not a good system. They need to change something. I don't have the answer, because obviously you're not going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday shows.
I mean, it's a lot better to have. I mean, I get Raw Monday, you get the heat after the pay-per-view, everything's at the fever pitch. And then SmackDown on Friday, that'll be good, Then they have the break. But with it being a split roster, that's only going to help half the people.
Yeah.
We don't fucking know.
Is it a split roster, though? Is it, Paystee?
Yeah, speaking of which, I have now coined a name to correct the fact that they shortened his name to Ali, because I won't ever just call him Ali. So now his name is, fuck it, we're still calling him Mustafa Ali. He took to Twitter after the Super LetDown to announce he would donate all of his earnings from the event to charity. Good man, good job, and big ups from us to you. Take that Saudi money, do something positive with it.
This is what everybody should be doing.
Fuck, I hope he took Mansoor's money too, because they look exactly alike. Mansoor looks like he took Ali's genetics and Seth Rollins' genetics and smashed them together.
He is, that's old man sewer for you. No, for sure. Everybody who went to WWE's fucking Super Letdown and said, "Oh, I don't believe in it, but I don't feel like rocking the boat." You can personally donate that money
Undertaker,
anywhere you want,
Goldberg,
especially
donate that
to
money.
aid for the
Please?
Middle East. So it's like, why does it take a fucking mid-card 205 Live fucking nobody, which I love and is a super talent and one of the best talents they have. I'm just saying, as far as
Right.
corporate goes, he's nobody. Why is this guy donating his money to charity and not the higher-ups? Why
Randy
aren't
Orton
Goldberg
and Triple H.
and Undertaker, who don't even fucking need it? Yeah, who would first of all, catch the attention of the media.
Fuck,
and
Triple
would
H
draw
should,
attention
you
to
know, if
these
he's corporate
needs
and corporate's
these
putting on these
benefits.
shows, he should be the one to take his winnings and fucking donate them to circumvent the fucking...
Triple
it's bad.
H is a
And then
cocksucker.
there were also 51 men in the Battle Royal, Fat Mac.
51!
And this
Holy
was a
buckets.
Battle Royal where all 51 men started in the ring right from the jump. So yes, Fat Mac, WWE was correct when they said it would be the biggest Battle Royal in history.
It was the biggest battle royal in history. 51 men standing.
Nobody
there,
gets
not
a
knowing what
spot
the
to
fuck
showcase
they're
their
fucking
talents and
doing.
abilities. Just 51 bodies in the ring moving around randomly.
51 cocksuckers sucking cock. I got that porn.
What's it called?
You know what it's called? It's called WWE Super Showdown.
Yeah, I did not watch this show. I almost did. And I don't think I'm going to watch them going forward either. I'd say
glad
we're
you
not going to
didn't.
cover them
That makes
going
me happy.
forward.
I thought about that this week,
But
saying,
it's so
you know
much
what,
fun.
We shouldn't even fucking cover it. First
Right,
of all,
right.
it was the only thing we had. So I mean, we had the results of New Japan, and then we had the predictions, or we had to talk about the Super Showdown. But it's like, yeah, you know what? We should talk about it because we should put our opinions out there. And let
I think
people know
it's
how
definitely
we
not
feel
just how we
about it.
feel.
The thing is, it isn't that we're promoting it because we're small enough that it doesn't even matter if we talk about it or not. That doesn't add any views to their pay-per-views. We know that. I love us, but we know that. But maybe 2 or 3 people won't get it because we talked about it. And even if just fucking one person doesn't get it because we talked about it, fuck, I'm high-fiving myself. And
Also,
jerking off
the
in
attendance
shower.
in the crowd was significantly down from last year's Saudi show. Yes. I don't remember the
Was
exact
it?
numbers, but it was a very large chunk less. I like the weekly Elite Dirt Sheet. So yeah, fuck yeah. All Out
yeah,
sold
man.
out in less than 15 minutes this morning. What?
15 minutes!
Tickets went on sale Friday at noon Est Eastern Standard Time. And soon after, fans took to social media to complain tickets were no longer available. At one point, an estimated 70,000 people were in an online queue for tickets with a maximum of 4 tickets per person.
You know what, Paystee? I keep waiting for the event where they're no longer the darlings and it's not these immediate sellouts. It's not happening yet.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen. We're not dumb, right? It's gonna happen. It hasn't happened yet, though. So, but the thing is, they're not
Did Fight for the Fallen
oversaturated.
sell out?
So what happens?
Because Fight for the Fallen is before.
Not yet.
And Fyter Fest is before. I don't think Fyter Fest will sell out, though, because I think they're outdoors. And plus, it's supposedly... Yeah, we'll talk about this.
They're outdoors.
I
at
would
a
think the
gaming
gaming would be
festival?
inside,
How
but
the
I
fuck
swear to
would
God,
that
they said
work?
they were going to have it on, like, Virginia Beach.
Well, you would think so.
Florida?
Virginia
not,
Beach? That's where I was born.
Whatever beach
Virginia
in Florida,
Beach is not
Jackson
Florida,
Hole,
you
Washington.
jackass. Oh my gosh! Now you're just
It's Fyter
making
Fest, man.
shit up.
And we'll have that news for you in just a minute.
Anyways, I will say that I would assume after they have a weekly show that people get to see it more, and they won't. Obviously, they're not going to sell out in 15 minutes every week, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. But I think it is amazing that with this being their
it will be their fourth show, yes.
This will be their fourth show. It will be their fourth show. With this being sold out already, that is for a brand new sort of company.
It's also Chicago,
impressive.
so it's very,
not a small
it's logical that it would sell out. I'm sure Vince can still sell out a Raw in Chicago.
Right. Well, I mean, yes. But still, that's impressive.
And since we're going to talk about Chicago here and stuff, one fan asked CM Punk this week, are you really going to disappoint your fans and not show up at All Out? And CM Punk responded with, yes. So there's that.
Yes. Another yes is All Elite Wrestling has hired former Senior Director of Live Event Marketing of WWE, Raphael Morphy, to handle their live event aspect of their company. Morphy, who was with the New York Mets before his WWE run, and also worked for the
wasn't he also
Cosmos
in the Matrix
soccer team after departing WWE. I believe he was.
Yeah.
I believe he was.
He had some badass sunglasses,
if I remember right. He also worked with Impact Wrestling, MLW, House of Hardcore, Brian Knobbs' Legends of Wrestling events, and with good old JR, among others, via his Signature Move Productions company. He's been well liked and respected within the pro wrestling world for many years. Morphy was at Double or Nothing last month and will be an important part of AEW operations going forward. Paystee, I know most people listening to this have never heard of him, but this is a big hire for the company.
A lot of people want to complain about them signing WWE guys and pushing WWE guys when they want to be anti-WWE or whatever.
Me as
Backstage,
well.
I don't think that flies at all, because you want the backstage minds that were WWE when WWE was pulling ratings. Take them all.
That is
Take
correct,
them all.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% as long as they leave out Vince Russo, who I think is a genius and is super
I would love
and awesome in his own
pay-per-view
right.
produced by Vince Russo in AEW. Just one. Call it AEW on a pole. That's the pay-per-view.
Do you think that it could be a 10?
A perfect 10. I had a burp, I'm
really
sorry.
waited
Sean
for that
Spears has officially signed with the promotion. Spears made his AEW debut at a recent Double or Nothing pay-per-view in the Battle Royale that took place at the buy-in pre-show. The former Ty Dillinger entered at, number 10 and was eliminated by the legless Dustin Thomas. And let me say this. Fuck yeah!
Who, by the way, was fucking
But Ty
awesome.
Dillinger, when he was in WWE, I don't know what they did to him, but he looked like a fucking kid. But as soon as he's in AEW, he's all man, baby.
You know what else I want to say, which is just speaks volumes for All Elite Wrestling? This is something that has nothing to do with almost anything. This is something that just is praising their vision. I was watching Double or Nothing with my son, and we were watching the Battle Royal. And we were just talking about the different people. We were watching the whole. I don't remember when it is now, but we were watching the whole pay-per-view, and my son said something like, "Wow, this is a really cool company that has a disabled person in their battle royal, has a cross-dresser, and has someone who used to be a man who is a woman now." And he said, "That's really cool that they just let anybody wrestle." My son's 13 years old. He's not young, he's not old. But the fact that it takes somebody, like, the fact that it's amazing that they, quote, let anybody wrestle is great for AEW, but sad that we have to say that. Shouldn't anybody be able to wrestle? It's like, that's unfathomable. Anybody should be able to wrestle. But the fact that AEW stands out from everybody else because anybody can wrestle is awesome for AEW, but just sad for the state of the world.
I'll say at the first time I saw Torso Boy in the Battle Royal, I rolled my eyes and I said, "Wow, reaching."
Yeah.
He did really good.
He did good,
it must have been so difficult. As a torso, how do you even do a Battle Royal?
He's done that his whole life. It's.
I want him on the show, and we really should. If we're going to reach out to wrestlers, we should reach out to the people AEW hasn't necessarily signed, but is just dropping tendrils on. Because they're the ones who are going to make a fucking difference for the next 5 years.
But I work with a fellow who has dwarfism. He's a little person.
Is he cool as fuck about it?
I work with him with a lot of machines, heavy machines. Oh yeah, he's cool as shit, and I can tell you stories, and I'm not going to tell you now. But it's one of those things where it's like when he has to like get something that's up, he just fucking starts climbing like a monkey, and then he just fucking hits it, and then he goes down again. Like it's nothing to him. Like he's not like, "Hey, help me get up here" or nothing. No, he just fucking climbs shit like it's... Because he's done it his whole... He's been a little person his whole life that he's just fucking owns it. Like, it's nothing to him. Like, that's just a way of life. He doesn't see it as, "Oh, I'm doing something cool. I'm a little person who's touching this thing way up there." He's just like, okay...
I'd make a big fucking deal out of every time. I'd be yelling from the top of whatever I climbed up, "Look at me!"
But he doesn't. He just fucking owns it and goes down without even anybody noticing. It's awesome. Badass. You know who else is badass?
Hell
Dustin
yeah.
Runnels. Artist formerly known as Gold Dust. Artist formerly known as Seven. Artist formerly known as Black Rain. Artist formerly known as The Natural.
I think so. I was just 7, 6. What is it? Okay.
I said 7. I didn't say 6, but I think that was Sean Waltman.
Were they 6 and 7 at the same time?
Dustin Reynolds, he's been cast.
Okay, that would have been fun.
No.
Where's the rest? That's what I'd be wondering.
Awesome. Dustin Reynolds has been cast in a wrestling-themed movie pasty called Thunderclap. Now,
I've had Thunderclap before.
Kid named Spaghetti Boy in this one. But, yeah, I know, right? The plot of the movie, according to the movie's Twitter account, is, quote, a shy 17-year-old...
And then eats cereal and is called the Spaghetti Kid? No way!
Van Thunderclap Tanner. He eats spaghetti, and he is called the Cheerios Kid. Nobody knows where they got the plot from. It's amazing.
It's Paul Blart Mall Cop and Observe and Report all over again.
No shit. That's all I have to say about that.
The movie's called Thunderclap. It's great. Plus, if Dustin Reynolds is a creepy old wrestler hanging out with a 17-year-old, I could be okay with that.
What if it's a spin-off of the Rocky movie where Hulk Hogan played Thunderlips, And now Brooke Hogan is playing a down-and-out fucking ex-model who got the clap from trying to work her way up through the modeling gigs. Thunderclap! She doesn't know how she'll get rid of it. Penicillin is her best friend. And she's a stripper at the mall who introduces her to penicillin. I want to meet a stripper named Penicillin. Because she would both give you the disease and be...
I'll be your cure, baby.
The cure.
For what? You'll find out.
Wow! Right? I love it. I just fucking love it. Thunderclap.
That was Thor from the last Avengers movie, wasn't it?
Well, that was when he farts. It's the thunderclap.
Fuck. So yeah, this is huge. During an E3 press conference, Kenny Omega sat down and talked about Fyter Fest at E3. And dropped news that AEW's premier wrestling and gaming festival will air for free on Bleacher Report Live. And I mean, it's Kenny Omega. He loves Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, any kind of fucking vintage fighting game. He's all about it. And this was completely put together by him. So of course it would have a fucking gaming tournaments. Hell yeah.
Too right.
And he dropped news that it will air for free. I already said this. But
that's what
it's worth noting a second time. For free. Everybody wanted to complain about $50 for Double or Nothing,
free.
which turned out to be well worth it.
Yeah. Double or Nothing sold out. Fyter Fest is free, so it doesn't matter if it's sold
I'm sure
out or not. Paystee.
It's going to be awesome.
It's free.
Due to the decision to stream the event on Bleacher Report Live for free, Chris Jericho wrote in a tweet in protest of Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Nick Jackson, and Mac Jackson's foolish decision to give the Fyter Fest live stream away to AEW fans for free. I'm pulling out of the event. I refuse to be associated with such shameless pandering. Fozzy also tweeted, regrettably, and after much and careful and difficult consideration, we want to let you know that Fozzy won't be performing at Fyter Fest. Due to incompetence of stupid promoters, we're not confident that we would have what we need to give you fans a quality performance, which the end of this statement was completely taken from Blink-182 when they backed off of Fyter Fest, folks. This led to Slipknot's Corey Taylor getting involved and announcing that he was pulling out of the festival, standing in solidarity with Jericho. Taylor wrote, was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but I've decided to pull out of Fyter Fest because of unsafe conditions and a lack of real consideration for the talent or the fans. Standing in solidarity with Jericho, and I hope that this will be a reminder that we must be strong. I love that he says he's backing off. He doesn't say Slipknot. He doesn't say Stone Sour. Because they were never booked in the first place, folks.
Right. I think this is just great. Jericho is owning his character with AEW. He's really pushing. Can I say this, Paystee? He's trying hard to make sure that even as the biggest name in this company, he is the most hated person. He doesn't want to be the most beloved.
And he's doing it all for the benefit of the company. Hated. It's beautiful.
Oh, truly.
Kenny Omega's like, I want to do a spoof on Fyter Fest called Fyter Fest. Chris Jericho's like, sweet, I'm going to back out of it because you need that. He should have picked a rapper
in the future,
to build this with, though, like, right? You just bring Ja Rule. That would have been fucking epic.
That would have been awesome. The question is, going forward, can Chris Jericho,
BT Dubs, I love
He's
Ja
not
Rule's
even-
music.
He's not even such
I'm
a
saying
heel in...
Murder Inc. Love him.
You said it. He's not even such a heel in Japan because they still chant Y2J, Y2J, Y2J. So it's like, can he still actually get people to hate him in AEW? He's trying his damnedest, but it's gonna be that.
It's gonna be that.
It's gonna be a chore.
Chris Jericho can get people to boo him. They're still gonna love him through the boos, but yeah,
he can get WWE guys to boo him. Can he get AEW guys to boo him?
That's you
the
keep
question.
putting them up against like the
I
favorites
hope so.
and the indie darlings. Oh yeah, you'll get Chris Jericho booed on a regular basis.
I hope so.
I would like to see a face turn somewhere down the line, but like it's got to be right before his contract is up.
Oh yeah.
Have one glorious run for maybe 6 months as a face, but the rest of it should be this. This is beautiful, and it works perfectly with their vision for what Fyter Fest is going to be.
It's beautiful, Paystee.
I want everybody to show up and time to start, and like there's no apron around the ring, like the canvas is on, but the turnbuckles, the covers aren't on.
I want them to give out them fucking cheese sandwiches with the 2 pieces of lettuce to everybody.
They got a whole bunch of FEMA tents all around. There's no chairs. Everybody's sitting on air mattresses. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just I want this to be. I want it to be a glorious, beautiful, successful train wreck. I love it so much.
It's gonna be. It'll be good. I mean, these guys got a while to go before they fuck up, and they're gonna fuck up. We know everybody is always fucked up, but they got a while to go yet. I mean, they're still riding high yet. The fact that they sold out in 15 minutes on Double or Nothing is,
It is great, and I really haven't seen that many WWE fanboys going, "Oh, it took them 15 minutes to sell out," because, right?
Well,
even
no,
if they put tickets out
WWE
6 months in
can't
advance.
Sell out.
No,
Paystee,
I'm just
looking
looking forward to everything, man.
It's gonna be good. We're gonna have a good show next week. Make sure to tune in.
New game!
Fun. We got a new game for y'all. That's gonna be.
And we can tell you right
awesome.
off the
You're not
bat,
gonna wanna
folks, this
miss
is going to be a
that.
reoccurring thing. Hell
Oh, yeah. You're
yeah.
gonna be on
It's going to
this
be a
shit.
great time. Oh, shit. I know going forward, I think I'm going to start watching NXT again. I think it's still a great product, and they deserve the view. And I like watching it, and not
is a great
just seeing
product.
the same shit I just saw on TakeOver. Like, it's been 2 weeks, and Adam Cole hasn't been on the show. So it's like, yeah, I dig it.
Right, that's very good.
Right.
You don't get burnt out on folks. Yeah, so with that being said, of course, as always,
My
I'm
name
Fat
is
Mack,
Paystee.
folks.
From the bottom of a bourbon bottle, this has been Beefsteaks Podcast. Yeah,